Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. It's first impressions time today. Checking out Montblanc Legend Blue. They had Legend Red, which I'm not a massive fan of. Now Blue, and I guess you could say Legend Spirit is Legend White, and then Legend Eau de Toilette and Eau de Parfum are Legend Black. So it's like Lacoste L1212 all over again. Just a bunch of colors. Maybe Legend Green next. As of when I'm shooting this video, this has not popped out yet all over the US. It hasn't hit stores or discounters or anything like that, but I'm assuming that's gonna happen at any time. Actually, by the time this video goes live, it could already be at discounters or stores. And if it is, I'll have it linked down below. Let's go ahead and kick things off by taking a look at the presentation here. All right, here we have the front of the box. You have the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size, and concentration. I went with the 50 ml size. It is Eau de Parfum concentration. Nothing up top, not really anything on the sides either, and a tiny touch of information on the back of the box. On the bottom, you have your ingredients, your batch code, and your barcode. The full batch code is 24001N328. And here is the bottle. Typical Legend style. This one has a nice blue coloration to it. You have the name of the fragrance right there on the front. As usual, the cap clicks into place. On the bottom, you have a sticker with your batch code. And let's go ahead and spray out a couple sprays. Here we go. Really strong atomizer as usual from these. So I ordered my bottle from Europe and it was $89 before shipping. So that is the amount that I paid for this one. Do I suggest that you pay that amount? We'll talk about that. Before we go any further, guys, here are some codes you can use to save money across a bunch of different websites. The perfume box, the code is GentsScents for 10% off. They have a whole bunch of clones and designer fragrances there, among a lot of other stuff. Then of course there's GS11 for 11% off at fragflex.com, which is a big fragrance discounter, and then all the other usual codes as well. All right, let's start digging into Legend and Legend Blue. So if you're not familiar with the Montblanc Legend line, let me give you a very quick rundown so everybody's caught up to speed. The original Legend Eau de Toilette smells similar to Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. That's the easiest way to describe that one. Really versatile fragrance, good compliment puller, very affordable from fragrance discounters. Doesn't cost all that much, and actually extremely popular as well. It's one of the better selling men's fragrances on the market, period. Specifically, last year, it was the 21st best-selling men's fragrance, so it's pretty popular. Then you have Legend Eau de Parfum, which, very simplified, is essentially a slightly more mature version of that original Legend DNA, which again is kind of similar to Fierce. Then we have Legend Spirit, which is similar to Invictus Aqua in ways. Sweet, fresh, good for spring and summer. And then Legend Red, which again, I'm not a massive fan of, but it's decently versatile, easy to wear, and has a bit of citrus there and woody notes as the fragrance dries down. Legend fragrances in general, across the board, are affordable at discounters. And they can often be fantastic buys. Great bangs for your buck because by and large, the fragrances across the line are easy to wear, are compliment pullers, and again, are not gonna cost you very much money. So you can smell really good, but not spend a whole lot of money to smell really good. Oh, and before I forget, there's also Legend Night, which that one at discounters is actually a lot of times a little bit more expensive than most of the other Legend fragrances. That one has apple, it's got cardamom, it has vanilla in there, Akigala wood. It's a really nice, sweet, appealing fragrance. The performance is not huge on that one, but that's okay, I'll let that slide. And some people actually find that one a little bit similar to Armani Code Profumo, which is now discontinued. So there is the Legend line in a nutshell, which brings us to this one. Now, obviously with the name like Legend Blue, you go into it expecting a blue fragrance or something that is gonna be like a fresh out of the shower type of scent, a spring summer scent profile. That's the expectation here. And that pretty much is what it is, actually. Off the top, it has a really appealing to me lavender mint opening. It's a sweet lavender, so it's not gonna be like, you know, an old school masculine style lavender. It's definitely sweetened up, as is the mint, but it's still very fresh. And it does have a little bit of like an out of the shower, slightly shower gel type of scent profile when you first spray it on. And it does have some similarities to other fragrances out there a little bit, which for Montblanc makes sense because a lot of their fragrances do have similarities, as we've already pointed out with the Legend line up to this point, and you know, Explorer smells similar to Aventus. It's kind of one of the things that they are known to do from time to time to time to time. So this one, to me, is a little reminiscent of Parfums de Marly Sedley, but not the exact same. This has a little more of a focus on sweetness than Sedley does. Sedley is a little bit zingier, a little bit livelier, maybe a little bit more brisk, the way that it opens up. Because this one isn't a creamy fragrance, it's a very fresh fragrance, but the way that sweetness hits, it does have a little bit of a creamy aspect to it, just in the sense of the way the sweetness comes across. Now, when I say that, don't misconstrue it as me saying the creaminess is like, you know, a heavy, thick kind of deal here. That's not what I mean. And maybe creamy is actually not the best way to describe the way that the sweetness hits here off the top and in the mid. It's just not quite bubbly, effervescent, zingy like Sedley is. So it's like you add a little bit of sweetness that kind of settles over top what would be that zingy aspect in the scent profile, and it gives it this feel of like a little syrupy sweetness underneath. As it dries down, you get woodiness that comes out. There's technically sandalwood and cedar in here as notes. But ambroxan is more what's gonna come through, that kind of ambroxany, fresh, modern, woody feel. So this is gonna be a scent profile that, especially as it dries down, some people are going to peg immediately as just generic, you know, generic throwaway shower gel sweet type of scent. And truth be told, the first time that I smelled it, that was kind of the way that I interpreted this as well. I was like, well, you know, it smells pleasant, it smells nice. I'm not gonna smell it and be like, oh, gross. It's really easy going. But when I first smelled it, I was like, kind of paint by numbers to an extent. You know what I mean? Like doing something that you know people are going to enjoy, but there's not really a whole heck of a lot to it. So paint by numbers. When it's all done, you look back at it and you go, huh? Yeah, I mean, that looks pretty good. But you know that there's not really a whole heck of a lot that's going on there as far as anything original or new, right? And that is this fragrance, actually, that is. So I mean, if you key in on that and then that disallows you enjoying it, then yeah, that's how it's gonna be. But I have found myself reaching for this way more than I should be. Yeah, like a good amount. I've been getting some use out of this. And part of that is maybe because I've had it sitting like next to my computer in my office. It's just sitting right there. And so I'm like, ooh, grab it, spray, go. And I've done that a lot. But as I've been doing that, it has really become like a guilty pleasure where I'm wearing this and I'm like, I like the way it smells. Is it simple? Yeah. But does it smell really appealing to me? Yeah. I can't bring myself to hate on it. Is it paint by numbers? Yeah. Is it a simplistic idea here? Yeah. Does it smell good? Yeah. I especially like the opening. The opening, I really dig. That kind of mint lavender sweetness, the way that it hits. It's just the right mix for me of sweet and fresh that keeps me coming back. And sure, it dries down to ambroxan essentially with other fresh woods in there, and it's not exactly anything new, but it is also a tried and tested and true scent profile that's just easy to use every single day, basically spring through fall. And performance-wise, it's actually not bad. It projects decently well through the first part of the mid. Then it starts to sit closer to the skin, but it's a fresh, sweet blue. I mean, it's not really something made to be all that super strong. And for the performance it has, I'm actually pleased. Longevity seems to be decent off my skin too, so yeah. I brought up Sedley. One other thing, it has also been compared to Platinum Egoist. It's not really, you know, that similar to Platinum Egoist for me. You spray those on side by side. First off, the Chanel is a much higher quality fragrance. I think everybody, oh, big surprise, right? Yeah, we all know that, but still. But the Chanel has much more of an aromatic scent profile to it and less sweetness. It's also a much classier fragrance, the Chanel, and I think that's going to appeal more to middle-aged guys and older, whereas this one is going to appeal to younger guys up to middle age probably. So there's a little overlap there, but if you spray them on side by side, they're pretty different in the way that they come across, and also I feel when they would be used and who they would be used by. And there's also some similarity, more of a similarity to Boss Bottled Unlimited, which is the Boss Bottled that came in a white bottle with green writing. The mint in there is more similar to what's going on here when you first spray it on. So you're gonna find, as usual, like I talked about before, some similarities to other fragrances with this one, but still on its own, it smells smells nice. I really enjoy it. Would I suggest to you to pick this up at full retail whenever it becomes available in the US? Because again, I like this a lot more than I liked Legend Red when it came out. The answer, no, don't do that, dude. Why would you do that? It's in Montblanc. No offense to Montblanc. If anybody from Montblanc is watching this, no offense to you. Actually, no, do buy it at full retail. Buy all Montblanc products at full retail. Do it. Are they gone? Wait for it to hit discounters, guys. It's a Montblanc. It's a Montblanc Legend. Okay. When this hits discounters and it's in that like 35 range, this is gonna be a really nice addition for spring, summertime, daytime use. Good to the office as well for a lot of people. It has a potential complement factor to it, absolutely. Again, it's not exactly like a crazy new scent profile, but it is one that's really nice. And sometimes you just want something that smells really nice, which is what I have fallen into over the past like week and a half, where I've worn this probably 5 days of the last 10. Like, I'm legitimately ignoring fragrances that a lot of people would consider much better than this one because it's just easy. But to reiterate, even though I like this a lot and I paid a good amount for it, you should not. You should wait, and if you can get this for under 40, that's where you want to be. And if this drops to like Legend EDT prices or something like that, we're cooking with gas. Because you have to kind of grade it on a curve, right? You pick it up for 35 bucks, it's gonna make you real happy. Pick it up for 105, not so happy. You want to be on this side, on the happy side. Not over here on the, oh, why did I do that? I should have just had a little more patient side. So there we go, Legend Blue. This is not going to set the world on fire. It will have detractors, people who just write it off because it is a bit generic, and I'm not arguing that. If you smell it and you think, no, I want something more unique, that is totally your prerogative, and I understand 100%. But if you're looking for something, like I've said a few times now, that's just an easygoing, sweet, fresh fragrance, a little bit out of the shower style, with some resemblances to Boss Bottled Unlimited, Parfum de Marly Sedley in different ways, then this will absolutely tick those boxes. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.